Chip Cooper, founder of SaaS Marketer Pro and also a full-time practicing SaaS attorney. Now, this video is the fourth in our series regarding GDPR with the addition of some additional information regarding the FTC, and we'll be focusing on both of these regulators' view of a data security policy and the development of it. But first, a housekeeping announcement. The presentation is for informational purposes only. It is not legal advice, and there will be no attorney-client relationship created. So in working with some clients regarding a data security policy, I get questions similar to what you see here. They are based on some confusion about what in the world is this document. Are these three down at the bottom there different, or are they same, whatever? Which one is it? I get asked the question frequently. Is it a data security policy? Is it a data security plan or a data protection plan? Well, the answer is it depends primarily on which regulator you're dealing with and their perspective about how this document should be titled, but they're basically all the same. So let's develop chronologically how the big movement started and when it started regarding all businesses, regardless of size, needing to have a data security plan, policy, or whatever. So from the Federal Trade Commission's perspective, we begin back in 2015 when they started urging all businesses to adopt, in their view, the title, a data security plan. And this was part and parcel of their huge conference in San Francisco titled Start with Security. So they kicked off the movement there. And then in 2016, the next year, they published a booklet, and you see the cover page on the image there on the left, Protecting Personal Information, a Guide for Business. And the purpose of this document is to set out certain principles, essentially 5 key principles that a sound data security plan should incorporate. Now, it's an excellent booklet. The problem, though, is for you, if you're going to undertake the task of creating a data security plan or policy, whatever, it's difficult in some cases to translate these principles into the precise language that your plan needs to take. Now, we have created what I believe is a great solution to this problem, and I'll get to that in just a minute. But first, let's look at, as we continue chronologically, the GDPR approach, basically to the same thing. In fact, you'll see there in Article 24 of GDPR, it's actually codified in the statute that you need a data protection policy. It's what they call it. So you can see with the underlined text, shall implement appropriate technical and organizational measures, and then at the bottom, yellow line, shall include the implementation of appropriate data protection policies. So that's the GDPR term for this document we're talking about. And here's our approach. We wanted to make it simple. And so we've created a plan that doesn't have, or a policy, that doesn't have paragraphs that you have to read and sort of figure out. It's really a checklist approach, and this is just a small clip of basically the template, which is the data security policy. It's, I think, very simple and easy to use because you can easily read the checklist, and then you can delete the items that do not apply to your business. It's much easier to read essentially checklists and delete what doesn't apply than having to figure out how to create the darn thing from scratch. So this is basically what a section of our approach to a data security policy looks like. And I'll give you, and this is a close-up version of it there, where you can read, delete, and customize this for your own business. Now, here are the recommended steps to use this approach, which should save you a lot of time. Number 1, gin up the policy and save it to a word processor. Number 2, turn on the redlining feature. Number 3, review and delete the items that you don't do right now, and you may find that you're going to delete a lot of them, right? Number 4, save a copy that shows the deletions in redline format for future reference, because what you're going to be doing is adding some of the deletions back in. It's easier to add the deletions back in when you know what they are than it is to create this document from scratch. Number 5, now you need to work diligently to complete, and notice the term appropriate in yellow text, complete the appropriate deleted items. In other words, add them back, or not, don't add them back yet, but complete them. Determine which ones are appropriate for your business, and that, of course, is a judgment call. So you need to use common sense in a lot of this. What does your budget actually allow you to do? What type of business are you in? What is the type of data that you're collecting? That sort of thing. If you want guidance, my recommendation is to do a Google search or any search engine search on what you see there at the very end of number 5. FTC, protecting personal information. That will take you to the first hit. The first hit in the response is going to be this latest booklet that the FTC created with the 5 principles. So if you need some assistance in determining which of these items are appropriate for your business, that would be the recommendation. Search it, download it. It's a PDF file, and it should be very helpful. Then this is very critical. Number 6, review in 6 months and add back the completed items. Now, you have to be working in that first 6-month period to add back those appropriate items as indicated in number 5, and then in 6 months add those back that are appropriate, and then you've got what I believe should be a very workable plan. Now, I've seen plans and policies that are 50, 60 pages. I believe what we have here is going to be able to cover most businesses depending on circumstances. So if you follow this basic approach, these recommended steps, you should end up with a very workable, sound plan for your business. And then finally, number 7, thereafter, after the first 6 months and you follow these steps, thereafter, simply review and update annually. In fact, the plan actually says that it will be reviewed annually. So certainly do it. Don't just basically view it as a set it and forget it situation. It's a live document and it needs to be reviewed and updated at least annually. So those are the final recommended steps. And in conclusion, we believe your valuable time is better spent completing security protocols rather than simply writing a policy. We believe this is a very sound approach to a very quick and easy time to develop a policy, and we certainly commend it to you and recommend that you give it a try.